Hello and welcome to the NextPlay podcast, a gaming and pop culture podcast brought to you by the team behind NextPlay Australia. I'm your host, Jamie, and joining me tonight is Brad.
Hello.
And Berto.
Hello.
On today's show, there's barely anything to talk about, but I guess we'll touch on Nintendo Switch 2, some of those announcements from some little thing called the Summer Games Fest. So I think it's going to be a jam-packed show.
Bit of a quiet week this week.
I know, right? We really should have just skipped this week.
Yeah.
But first, as always, what we have been playing. I will start because I have played I think, first 15 to 20 minutes of Expedition 33, and literally that's it. I have not had time at all. I have left on the expedition, and then I think I did the first introduction enemy that you fight solo, and then that's it. So, I like it so far. I just need time to actually play it. Who knew having a child would make things so challenging? Berto, how about yourself?
Expedition has been keeping me up late. I haven't checked where I'm at, but I would say I'm pretty far now. I don't know.
Are you
I want
into
to say
Act
maybe
2 or not really?
Does it
You
say Act 2?
Yeah. So then no, you're
Then-
not.
I'm leading into it then, because the story's starting to intensify.
Okay, message me when you're done and let me know where you're at.
Okay.
Sorry, message me after this.
What else have I been up to? Obviously, we'll talk about it soon. Mario Kart, I played a little bit, not much, just with the family. And a few other games, but I'll keep it for the surprise. Not that it's a big of a surprise because it's on the agenda, but no, just the Expedition has been my most time consuming, and I've enjoyed it thoroughly where I can. Still enjoying it. Still think it's fantastic. The art design and the sound design and the music. The story's really captivated me. I'm usually not a story guy like you two are, but I'm hooked. I really want to know what's
I
happening
love
next.
how you were like, oh yeah, this is good. You literally listed everything about the game.
Oops. No,
Yes.
that's all I've been doing.
I so want to find time to get to this goddamn game.
Yeah, I didn't mean to make you jealous. I really didn't.
Well, you have, but we've got to move on anyway.
I'm good. Yeah, that's it.
Brad, don't talk to me about the Switch 2 yet. I know you have it. We will get to that. What else have you been playing?
Nothing.
All right, then.
No, obviously I'm still playing Final Fantasy 9. I'm very, very close to finishing it.
Oh, nice.
So check that out on YouTube. And yeah, otherwise just Switch stuff, which we'll talk about in a moment.
And that moment has arrived.
It
So,
has.
out of the three of us, I'm the only Polvo that doesn't actually have a Switch 2. So, I can direct the conversation. I obviously don't expect anyone to have a review of the console at this stage. I always think reviews of the console should take months to actually establish what we think of it. He's reviewed it.
Yes,
30 minutes. There we go. Well, we'll get to that one. But I'd love to hear your first impressions first of the console if we could, and then we could talk a little bit more about the game. So how about Brad? I think you've had more chance with it. What do you think so far?
Well, I kind of did give my first impressions a few weeks ago, but actually owning one and literally having the freedom to do what I want with it. Yeah, a really solid console. I feel like this is a console that you don't really know how much further it is in hardware compared to the Switch unless you hold it in your hands and play it. Yeah, so I've only been playing it on TV. I haven't played it handheld yet, just because I've said it many times. I'm not a big fan of handheld gaming at this point of my life. When I was growing up, loved it, probably preferred it, but yeah, not now. The new Joy-Cons though are really great to hold. The different sizes, the I guess bigger bumper buttons on the side of them feel really good. I grabbed a Switch 2 Pro controller, which feels amazing in your hands.
Nice.
I at first wasn't actually going to get one, and then I got FOMO, and then I did buy one. So no regrets there. Loved it. Have not used the Joy-Cons since I bought that. So yeah.
Mm.
In terms of games I've been playing, Mario Kart World, obviously. I don't want to talk too much on it because I need to write a review on it. But really loving it. The I'm pretty sure I've spoken enough about like what I enjoyed about Mario Kart World a few weeks ago in that Nintendo Switch 2 first impression podcast, but I will say I am a little indifferent about the open world. Like it'll be fun for some people, but like I'm not like obsessing over the open world parts. Like the core Mario Kart experience is the racing, all that, unlocking characters, unlocking even like unlocking outfits. That is fun. I will say that. But like if the open world's not in the next Mario Kart game, I would not care. Like honestly, it's like there's stuff to do, but like it's just I don't know, basic tasks. It's nothing. The
Nothing
secrets
mind
you find,
blowing.
yeah, the secrets you find aren't that like, oh my God, look at this. Like it's not really a moment or
Mm.
anything. Like it's fun that it's there. Like I'll keep exploring the open world, but like it's not definitely not the highlight of the game, which is kind of what I mean. It's called Mario Kart World. Like it's like it's meant to be the highlight of it, but I
The
feel
gimmick.
like they might have they might have missed the mark there. But over like the driving, the new like grinding along the rails and walls, that all feels great. The sound design is really good too. And I have unlocked Rainbow Road and it is fantastic. The Rainbow Road in this game is mind blowing when you first play it. It is so good. Definitely
Nice.
one of the best Rainbow Roads ever. But yeah, Mario Kart World, pretty solid. It's hard to like compare it to Mario Kart 8 because Mario Kart 8 had so much content added to it after it was released. Well, after it was released the second time because it was released on Wii U and Switch. So it had like what I don't even know how long it was, 9 or 10 years to add all that content. Like the Mario Kart 8 we that's out now would be a 10 out of 10. Would Mario Kart World be a 10 out of 10 for me? No. I'd probably sit at maybe an 8, some 7.5. But until like they add that content, which I'm sure they will, that's probably the highest I could give it now. But otherwise, I have played Pokemon Violet on it. Didn't like
Does it
play
run?
play it. It actually, I was shocked how well it runs. It's like there's
Nice.
no dips in frame rate. It's a solid 60 frames per second the entire way through. For instance, I don't know if you guys remember the Sunflora where you have all the Sunflora following you. I think it was before one of the gyms or something. And they were like moving in like 10 frames per second as they were chasing you. But now they run smoothly. It's really nice. Obviously, the game itself still has like a boring open world and kind of awful textures, which I think we're going to talk about later with Game Freak's newest game that they announced. But yeah, I'm pleasantly surprised with Violet. I haven't tried Legends Arceus yet, but I'll be probably jumping back into that to play that before ZA comes out. And I've also been playing Bravely Default, Flying Fairy HD Remaster. Probably only an hour in, so can't really talk too much on it, but I'm having fun so far.
I do have one big question to ask you. I think it's probably all our listeners want to know. Did you buy Welcome to it?
No, I have a review code for that, so stay tuned.
Okay.
I'll try and have my thoughts on it next episode.
All right. I am curious about that because I've heard some things myself, so I would love to know your opinion. Berto, I know you said you've had some time with the console.
Yeah, so a day, so a night, really, because I had to go to work. So I haven't really had much time with it. The original question was, what did I think of the console itself? Is that right? Yeah, it's good.
You can expand
It's really
on it,
good. Yeah, it's very good. Like, it feels different. It's much bigger. It feels more mature in a way. It feels a bit more evolved.
It feels current gen, doesn't it? It feels
It
current
does.
gen.
And then when you look at, because I set it up so you can transfer this, the save data and all that stuff
Switch
over.
to switch to. That was so easy, wasn't it?
Too easy. I was like,
It
this
was
is crazy. Yeah. I expected more, especially from Nintendo, who's a little bit
Jumping
notorious
through
for making
hoops.
things-
Scan a QR code, download this.
Yeah.
No, it was so easy.
That's another thing, though. You can take a screenshot and it'll automatically upload to your Nintendo Switch app on your phone, similar to how the PlayStation app does it. So, very good for people like us that need to take screenshots during their reviews.
It was a pain in the
You
ass.
just you just see the difference. Like the Switch OLED feels like a toy now. Like, it's hard to explain.
Right?
Yeah, you just got to like feel it, I suppose. And I don't mean to, I don't know how to describe it, Jamie. It just feels so much more different and better. Like, it genuinely does. It feels better. I have played Mario Kart on it. I haven't touched the open world at all. I played it just like I played every other Mario Kart, so straight to racing. Played with my family, my kids, and very kid friendly. A lot of fun. I have enjoyed it for what it is. It is very different. I enjoyed it because it is new. Because I am kind of tired of Mario Kart 8. Like, I love it, but it's overplayed, right? So I like the whole new variety to it. There's so many secrets. It runs perfectly well. It's beautiful. 24 play is a bit chaotic, but it's fun. I played a bit of the battle. That was a lot more fun than the last one. I actually enjoyed it. Don't really think I have much else to add with Mario Kart. So far it's pretty good. Like, it's nothing bad at all. It's nothing, it's not, oh my God, you need to go buy Switch 2 right now for this. It's just, yep, part of the parcel in a way. You've got a Switch, get Mario Kart. I didn't get a Pro Controller. I had it pre-ordered, but I decided against it. I'll buy it next time. It's just because I've been spending too much money on other games. That's all that came down to it. So I've used the Joy-Cons. They're great. Handheld, haven't touched most of that. Screen is beautiful. Like, everything looked good. I've been playing on the screen, and it feels like a PS5 almost. Like, it's strange. Other games. So I'm doing a quick review of Sonic that I played at the beginning of this year. And I played that. I feel, and I could be completely wrong because it's new and shiny, but it runs better on the Switch. Um, it just the colors looked a little bit more full. I don't know how to explain it. It just looked fuller and more vibrant. Um, but you can't tell them apart now. Like,
Mm.
yeah, it's minuscule, plays the same, runs crazy, 60 frames without hiccups, ultimate speed. I'm not a Sonic fan, but I love the game in the end. Um, and what else did I play? I downloaded a demo because I wanted to try out other games. Street Fighter 6.
Yeah.
That was awesome. That was really good. Silky smooth. Again, looks like the PlayStation 5 version.
I was gonna say I literally just saw like a side by side the Street Fighter 6 against Xbox Series S, Switch 2, and PS5 and Xbox Series X. The
Mm,
Switch 2 runs better than the Xbox Series S and has better textures and everything and better frame rate. I mean, if that doesn't like kind of like emphasize how much power the Switch 2 has, it's what will.
yeah, pretty much. Um, I wanted to try Zelda, but I didn't. Again, I only had one night with it, so from recording, this is my second night with it, and I haven't really had much time.
Mm.
So I only used what was I had downloaded, so mostly review games. So I went back to Xenoblade Chronicles X, which I told you guys was a bit old looking, I guess. Man, it looks good. I wish I played it on the Switch too. It smoothed everything over. It
Mm.
looked better. There was less flickering. Draw distance was a little bit better, although I think it's just because it's the way that it was running. The frames didn't really affect it as much. It just felt smoother. I don't know how to explain it, but
I there have been a few games I've seen that don't actually have Nintendo Switch 2 editions or updates, but they just like naturally run better on the Switch 2. So
mm,
it's good to see that.
yeah, I hope they keep it up.
Mm.
I think that's it. Is there anything else you want to know, Jamie? Like,
No, nothing off the top of my head. I've seen a lot of impressions, especially about that. I was reading someone's review that I follow on Instagram about the open world, and that's probably the only downside I've heard about Mario Kart World. Is just a little empty. And I was watched another video where they were talking about how the collectibles hidden, which is like extensive. There's a lot of them from what I've been told, but you can't really track them very well, and there's no like counter
Yeah.
telling if you found everything, which is a little odd. And some of the rewards for the collectibles don't seem like some. Maybe there's none, which is a little odd. But I won't lie, I always get excited and a little bit of FOMO when it's about like new console launching. You know what I mean? You see
mm,
everyone excited, and it's the best thing since the sliced bread was invented and everything. So I definitely found myself getting in that. But I think I'll just end up doing what I did with the Switch. I waited a little bit before I purchased. I still got my, I think it was probably like a year in. Maybe I waited. I think, and then I had a heap of games to play. And I've still got such a backlog. So glad there's backwards compatibility with Switch too, because I'll definitely get use out of that. I think. But I think that pretty much covers the Switch. We'll probably hear more opinions from Brad and Birdo throughout the weeks, and some
mm.
reviews coming up by the sounds. We are now in for an absolute treat. We're going to be going through. I'm just going to pass it to Brad. He will
Mm.
explain what we're going to be talking about because it's going to be a big news section.
Yes. So obviously, if you live under a rock, Summer Game Fest was this past weekend, which brought with it like probably hundreds of game announcements
All the
across
games.
different broadcasts. Almost
Easily.
too many to keep up with. I couldn't even list more than 20 games that had announcements, to be honest. Um, so we are going to go through a few of them, not all of them. Otherwise, we would be here till we have to record the next episode.
Let's
So,
do it.
yeah. So we'll start with the state of play, which I don't think was actually officially a part of Summer Game Fest. They just kind of announced it for a couple days before it. So we will start off with these ones aren't in order of how they were announced, but IO Interactive, the studio behind the Hitman series, revealed a 007 game which features a young Bond during his earlier years, where he names the code name Bond, where he like earns the code name Bond. So that is out in 2026. Jamie, I'm pretty sure you're a fan of Hitman. Am I right?
Big fan of
Yes.
Hitman. Yeah.
Okay. What did you think of 007?
So for me, I've never been massive into Bond. I think I only started watching. I watched the occasional Pierce Brosnan ones growing up, but then the Daniel Craig ones I've really enjoyed. But I wouldn't say
Yeah.
I'm hardcore Bond or anything like that. But I love most of every single one of the Hitman trilogy that came out, and IO Interactive is a very underrated developer in terms of what they're able to do with
Yeah.
an open world and sort of giving you an open world, but it's super dense. You know what I mean? So it's almost just a small hub area, but it's so dense with content that you just feel like it's way bigger than what it is. I love the gameplay reveal trailer. I thought it looked great. I would suggest if you haven't, there's a section in the PC gaming showcase where some of the devs and the CEO come out and they talk about it a little bit more, giving you a better idea of what they were going for, and that seriously got me hyped for it. Just This probably one of the few things from the PC gaming show that was actually worth watching for me, because most of it was all PC stuff, which I don't really game on there, but that was really great, and I'm actually really excited for this one because I have good faith in the studio. Sounds like you'll be able to, in sort of similar vein to Hitman, tackle things in certain ways. And yeah, I think this is a really impressive first look.
Beto, did you have anything to add?
Yeah, sold instantly. I loved it. I thought it was exactly what I wanted in a Bond game, but more. I think they went full Bond, if that makes sense. Like they didn't hold back. Again, IO Interactive. I also love them. I love the Hitman series. I have all the steelbooks actually for the games, which is ridiculous. But as always, they look pretty. I just don't play them enough. But when I do play them, I understand what Jamie means. Like they're just so good at making levels so layered. You know, like depending
Yeah.
on difficulty, I think they even increase or decrease missions. Is that right?
Yeah, you can customize it a bit. Yeah.
Which reminds me of like old school GoldenEye. That's the way that they did it as well in the 64. I think this looks great. I think this was probably the best showing of the state of play, unless you remind me differently. I was just so impressed by it. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure this was the final game and like shown in that state of play. So I technically should be the most exciting of all.
Technically, yeah.
Technically. Mortal Kombat is bringing back every version of the first four Mortal Kombat games called Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection, and that is out later this year. Square Enix is bringing back Final Fantasy Tactics with a remake called Final Fantasy Tactics: The Ivalice Chronicles. The original game was out in 1997, and it's like enhanced. Now has voice dialogue lines, whatever, voice acting, and it's out in September for PlayStation 4 and 5. I know Berto probably has something about this, but this is probably my favorite announcement of the state of play. Everyone knows I'm a bit of a whore for Final Fantasy. I will do anything for it. And this is one of the Final Fantasy games that I've been wanting to play for ages because everyone talks about it. Well, in the fandom talks about it. And yeah, I'll be able to play it with voice acting as opposed to the OG. So I'm excited about it. Berto, what about you?
Yeah, it's fantastic. I think I mentioned in the Discord how much I wanted it, and it's it's long overdue. This one, because it's been rumored for such a long time, to the same capacity of the remake of Final Fantasy IX, allegedly.
Yeah.
I am glad again that more JRPGs are coming back, and they're coming back either remade or remastered or just something for the future. Well, like it's really a golden era for JRPGs, and Final Fantasy Tactics is one of the best ones. It's more strategy though, so if you're into that, you'll love it. It is one of the best games that I played. It's very hard to play now, to get your hands on it as well. So
Right. Yeah.
I'm glad that it's more available, and it's on the Switch as well. It's perfect handheld game too.
Yeah. We got another trailer for Ghost of Yotei, and PlayStation have announced that there's a state of play solely for the game happening in July. Arc System is making a Marvel themed fighting game called Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls. It's a 4v4 tag fighter that features a pretty striking art style. Yeah, I'm not really a fighting game guy, but I think this looks brilliant, especially the art style. It looks fantastic. Oh, sorry,
Can I
Berto.
say something? Yeah, just quickly with this one. I think they ended the state of play on this one actually.
Yeah, I
From
think
Oh,
so.
true. Did they? Okay.
Yeah, yeah. And I think a lot of people were quite disappointed. I wasn't. I thought it was great. Arc Systems, they've been
Great developer.
fantastic with their fighting games. So I usually am not a huge Marvel fan. I am writing, funnily enough, a review on Capcom Fighting Collection 2, which I hope to get out this week. And for some reason, I've turned into the resident fighting reviewer for the site. So when I saw this, I thought it was great. It looks good. It's everything Marvel vs. Capcom 3 should have been. It's just, yeah, the art style's so striking, and the systems look so much fun.
Yeah, just quickly, how I think they did a little dev deep dive, I think, is how they ended the state of play. And I like the fact that basically Sony just said to them, just go nuts with the designs. I think they were trying to keep the designs a little bit more in line with what you expect from the
Yeah.
MCU and everything. And then they've just gone with the Japanese inspiration. So I think even Iron Man himself kind of looks like a Gundam a little bit, which
Yeah.
is just awesome. Yeah. The only Arc Systems fighter I played was Dragon Ball Fighter Z, and that was so good. I absolutely adore the art style on that one as well. So yeah, I'm pretty psyched for this one.
And that game is coming out next year. A new Lumines game has been announced called Lumine. What? Lumens.
Luminez.
I literally hadn't heard of it before.
He's the number
Sorry.
one fan here.
Yeah,
No
sorry,
one has it.
Jamie.
Yeah, that's all right. I'll touch on it in a sec.
You can talk on it now because I'll just butcher the rest of this segment.
All right. So, new Luminez's game has been announced. It is from the developers who were behind Tetris Effect. I'm unsure if anyone here has played that. That is not only the best
Great
VR game that there is, but literally it's so much fun. I remember the missus going into it. She just could not put the damn controller down. It completely gets you in the game. If you have a VR, go buy Tetris Effect. You absolutely adore it. I played Lumines on the Vita, and I think I also played one of the games on the PS4. It may have been a port of an older game. It's really addictive. It's, again, you're matching blocks, but you're sort of spinning them to get them in position. So similar to Tetris, but not really, if that makes any sense at all. The soundtrack already sounds like something I will absolutely love. And I remember I played so many hours of the game on Vita. So I have high hopes for this one. I'm one of the few. But yeah, bring on Lumines.
And that is out in spring this year, so probably only a few months away. Pragmata has arisen from the dead. We last heard about this, I believe it was in like 2020. It was quite a long time ago. Haven't heard anything about it since now, I think. I don't think we heard it last year, but it's giving very to me it looks like Dead Spacey without the horror. Like the actual gameplay looks Dead Spacey, which I'm all for. It features a soldier and a young android girl called Diana. You just know that's going to end in heartbreak. So that is coming out next year.
Looks good. Honestly.
Yeah, I'm keen for it. I feel like I need to see a little bit more, but
I need to see more.
yeah. Romeo is a Dead Man has been announced, and it, yeah, I don't really know. Like, it's a science fiction action game, and it's out next year.
He has the developer has a huge cult following. Like,
Right.
I'm not part
Very
of that
out
following.
there.
Yeah.
I've Suda51, never heard of him.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. He has. It's
What does he
unique
do?
and
Is
very niche.
What is he?
This is like a certain art style, a certain way that his games
Like,
are
is he an
presented.
artist, or like, is he
I
like
believe he's a developer.
okay,
I think that's his
just
nickname.
with like a
Could be
cult
wrong.
following?
Yeah,
He's got a
genuinely.
very
Like,
dedicated fan base, and usually the games are very out there. Now, am I wrong? Was he what was that? The really bad game that was like a detective game, Deadly Premonition. Was that him? Or am I thinking about a different
no,
game?
I don't think so.
No, don't worry about it. Skip me then.
He was No More Heroes, and he was. Oh, like that. If you would put all the trailers in one, you can tell that they're kind of like feel
Has
the
a certain
same.
style.
Yeah.
Killer is Dead. That's what I was thinking of. I reviewed that back in the day. Very all over the top. That was on PS3. I reviewed.
Yeah, I mean the art style
He's
looks
wacky.
great.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
he
very
is
out
wacky.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that game is out next year. Konami have revealed that Silent Hill F will be out in September. We got a new release date trailer for it, and it looks as scary as you would think it would be, being a Japanese horror inspired game. It does look scary, like, honestly.
The enemy design looks great. And if
It
these are the ones they're
does.
showing, I can only assume that the ones they're not showing look even more
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
unsettling. So I'm so keen for this.
I'm glad
Yes.
Silent Hill is back. I just want to watch. I want to see more. We'll see where we go.
This is probably like the first like proper new Silent Hill game we've had for a while, isn't it? If you're not
think so.
if you're not
Yeah,
including the
probably-
remake and that
Really, what?
short message or whatever it was, that doesn't count.
10 years, maybe longer.
So it'll
Yeah,
be interesting
which
to
is-
see how this is
scared of it
received.
too. Yeah, that's the thing. I'm scared of it too because their last few have been pretty trash, for a lack of a better word.
I think they're back. They are so back.
I
It
hope
looks great.
they're back.
It looks fresh.
It is Konami.
Yeah, they're busy making pachinko machines.
Yeah, halfway through the game, it could turn into gambling.
You never know.
A new Bloodstained title is has been announced, and it's called Bloodstained: The Castle Engagement. It's very Castlevania-y.
Yep, can't wait.
Otherwise, I have not heard of this series either. Have you
it's
played
good.
it?
This is
Have you
good.
played it?
Yeah, I've got it on physical as well. Yeah.
Oh.
There's a big story behind it that I won't get into it, but yeah, it's good if you're into
like a
old school Castlevania.
Yeah, it's like a spiritual sort of successor to it, isn't it? Inspired.
Yeah.
By
Yep.
We got a release date for Digimon Story Time Stranger. What did I say?
No, I was just saying because in the anime in the opening they're like Digimon.
Oh,
So I
I
was just
thought
that's literally all I did. Sorry.
I thought I accidentally said Pokemon or something. Okay.
No, sorry. That's just for my own entertainment. Continue.
That is out on October 3rd. Baby Steps is a weird
Yes, it is.
game out in September. Anyone got thoughts on Baby Steps? I think there's a demo out now, I think. So maybe PC.
It
I
could
don't
be
know.
funny. I feel like it could
Oh,
be funny,
yeah.
but also it could be irritating. I did see a trailer. I don't know which one it was in. I watched so many of these things. It was he was climbing a tower and like kept falling, and that was sort of part of the comedy. And I'm like thinking to myself, how much am I going to get annoyed having to constantly climb like the same thing over and over? I feel like this could be either like a gold mine in terms of comedy, or it will get old and stale really fast.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're marketing it towards the streamers, really. That's what it's... They're putting a lot of emphasis on it.
That's where it will do best, I think. Streaming. Hirogami is an origami action platformer that is out in September. It's pretty cool.
This was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the different animals you can fold into. It looks really interesting.
Why don't we have more origami games? It feels weird that I can't really think of any at the top of my head. It seems like a cool art style to adapt into a game.
Yeah. No, that's true.
Yeah, I can't think
that's,
of
I think
many,
that's why I
actually.
liked it. Because even Tearaway, I know that was crafty, but it wasn't necessarily origami. But yeah, it seems
Mario?
cool. Like you could. Oh yeah, true.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could be a gorilla. I think there's a few other ones that you can get into. It looks interesting. This is one of those smaller games that probably I'll check out.
We got a release date for Ninja Gaiden Ragebound, and that is out very soon on July 31st.
So good.
Better.
Looks phenomenal.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it a lot. I really want it. Screams old school.
We got a release date for the climbing game Can, and that is out in November. This is one on my radar. There's a demo out now. I don't know if I'll play it or not. I might just wait till it comes out to check the game out. But yeah, I think it looks interesting. It's got my attention at least. We got another Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater trailer, which is out in August. We have an announcement of Neo 3, which is out in 2026. But interestingly enough, there's a demo out now, so that's cool to have like an actual announcement and a demo available on the same day. That's doesn't
Super
happen
confident
often.
in it.
Yeah.
This one surprised me, Neo 3. I didn't expect it, but...
No. It kind of came out of nowhere. Am I wrong thinking Team Ninja are just bringing out so many games? It feels like they are.
They actually are, yeah. It's like 4 projects or something like
that. Project Defiant Wireless Fight Stick. I actually haven't looked into this, so I don't know what this is. Does anyone care to explain what that is?
It's
just an arcade stick.
It's
really.
a fight
it's
stick.
Just an... Yeah.
But it's like PlayStation branded. Am I incorrect?
Oh, like an old school arcade, like
like joystick. With the
oh, really?
So for fighting,
that's cool.
You mean for fighting games?
Yeah. I was thinking it was
good.
like a PlayStation Move where you just like whack thing. I don't know. I don't know. I didn't know what I was thinking. Yeah, beat up people with it.
No, it's great. Like all the compilations of Street Fighters are coming back. One will be up for review soon, and then you got Mortal Kombat at the beginning of the show that you mentioned. So it's like
Marvel game coming. Yeah.
the Marvel game. Yeah, it's all
Perfect,
genres
really.
are coming out great. Yeah, and
Especially all the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle games as well. Like, yeah, old school really does seem to be coming back. And it must be doing well because they keep releasing it.
Nostalgia,
it's
baby.
good for me.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. For the older people. Yeah.
Thank you.
That's all right. Thief VR Legacy of Shadows is a reimagining of the game in VR form. Cool. I haven't played Thief, so
No, I never played it.
no.
I have the Steelbook. That's it.
I also don't have PSVR 2 either. So
Tides of Tomorrow is a I don't really know what it is, but like it's I guess a multiplayer game that's out
yeah,
next year.
I
It's
think this was the one where it's like story based, and then other people in your world like affect the story. It
yeah.
seemed interesting, but it's not a game for me. So I won't lie. This one I kind of already forgotten.
Yeah. Um Sea of Remnants has been announced. It's out next year. It's a free to play RPG, so cool. Jamie, I know this one's yours. All yours. Do you want to
Alrighty, so
take
we
over?
find. Oh yes. Do we actually have the date here on this one? I know it's in August.
Yeah.
So we got the release date for Sword of the Sea. I've hyped this game up a few times already. So this is from Giant Squid. That's the team Abzu, The Pathless, and also has some developers that worked on Journey. You see it throughout this. It feels like a culmination of all those three games.
Yeah.
You've got the freedom of movement that The Pathless offered. Whilst you're surfing around on a sword, looks absolutely stunning as well. Like I've watched the trailer, I think like 2-3 times already, and I still think it's absolutely gorgeous. I love the studio. I think they do fantastic stuff. I'm surprised how soon it's coming around. I'm really excited to get
Yeah.
into this one.
Yeah. I did fact check. It is August 19th, so about 2 months away.
Yeah, so psyched for it.
Astrobot has 5 more levels coming. And that drops on July 10th, which is in a few weeks' time, which features new special bots to rescue as well.
And they said something about a new controller or something. I don't know if they're doing
Is
it.
that true?
I think they're
He-
re-releasing the Astrobot controller with something different.
Yeah, I think because he was holding a controller where I swear Astrobot, like
The
the eyes were
eyes, wasn't it?
blinking. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it might be just a slight variation of that one. And if so, fuck, I'm gonna have to buy it.
Yeah, that's annoying because I already own the first one and now
Yeah.
I feel like I
Not
want to buy.
confirmed. We'll wait and see what they say, but they did say they'd bring up something to do with the controller later.
I
so we'll
actually
see.
thought the eyes blinked when I first saw the last year's controller.
Oh, you
Like I
could.
just,
I've never
I
got it
just
out of the
thought they
box,
did.
so I don't know.
Well, true. No, I haven't either. So they could, and
I
we
got
just
it out of
don't
the
know.
box. But yeah,
Does it blink?
does. No, it doesn't blink. Only blinks when you blink. So you'll never see
You
it.
miss it all the time.
Yeah.
Well, that was the state of play. Overall, what did you guys think of that, Jamie?
I liked it. I left this with a big list of games that I was interested in. I think over the course of the weekend and me watching, what was it, 28 different showcases, I think it did go down to maybe my second or third favorite. But yeah, there's a lot of games over this entire weekend, but there's some strong ones that were announced here. For me, I think obviously Sword of the Sea and 007, I think are the two main ones that jumped out for me. But yeah, there was a lot of good stuff here. I would say it's probably one of the better states of play for a while. I think that's not too big of a call.
Yeah, better.
Yeah, agreed. Didn't think it was bad. Didn't think it was too great. It was my second favorite one. like of the presentations that I saw over the weekend. I didn't see 28 of them. I only saw 4.5, maybe 5. I just think the timing was terrible for Sony. Obviously, with the Nintendo Switch launch, taking a lot of the news as well.
That's on them,
And
though.
then
That is on
it is on
them.
them, 100%. But this is the thing. Like a week on now, I see no one talking about the state of play. All I hear is Xbox, and we'll get that to that in a second because that was the last one, obviously. So a bit of recency bias on that. But no, it was good. I think it was good. I think it showed enough. I saw some people hate the way it ended, but I think it's great for fighting game fans. I think they deserve that time in the limelight.
I thought it was a solid way to start like the weekend of showcases. Ironically, it started at 7 a.m. our time, and that's the exact minute I went to go pick up my Nintendo Switch from EB Games. So,
There you go.
very ironic there. Yeah, so moving over to the main course, that is Jeff Keighley's Summer Game Fest broadcast, and that had one announcement that had me wet my pants, but let's get through the rest of them first. So, Mortal Shell 2 was announced. Has anyone played Mortal Shell?
Nope, I know very little about it.
I
Me
have
too.
like the collector's edition thingy. That's it. I don't
Steelbook.
have it. Yeah, legit. No, I think it came with
Birdo's
like an
just
art book.
like, I own everything, but I've never played anything.
We need to get you a
it's the-
button that goes, "I own the steelbook."
Yeah.
It's the. I'm telling you, I collect more than a game for a good period of 3 years. I'm finally playing now, and it's Game Pass. That's the worst part right now. But anyway, no, it did. I heard nothing but like wouldn't say average, but like it had a lot of potential. So I know a lot of fans were keenly aware to see it grow. So it's something that it could grow into something quite good, I reckon, if they actually take care of it, of the franchise. It's like a Souls like basically.
Yeah. That is out next year. Chronicles Medieval. I believe that was announced, and it is a tactical melee action game set in a sandbox environment with a huge scale. Which sounds very ambitious, which I am kind of excited to see more of that. That is out next year. We got a release date for Sonic Racing Crossworlds, which is September 25th, and yeah, the worlds will be crossed because we have Hatsune Miku, Ichiban from Like a Dragon, Joker from Persona 5, and apparently Minecraft.
Steve.
Yes, Steve. The actual Steve, not Jack Black, thank God. Yes, they will all be coming to the game as well. Pretty cool. Yeah, it'll be excited to see if they add any more characters from, like, I guess the Sega universe. Yeah.
Cool additions though. They're trying their best to get me involved by putting like a dragon
Literally,
and Persona in there.
yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
Nah, I'm not playing your game, Sonic. Go away.
Just give in.
Next
what it
will
wants me
be
to
Dave
do.
the Diver.
Yeah.
He's everywhere. That bloke.
He is. Very busy man. Code Vein 2 was announced and will be out next year. Has anyone played Code Vein 1?
Negative.
No.
Do
I
you own
wanted
the
to,
steel
no.
book?
No. Oh yeah, I do actually. Yeah,
Do you?
I actually do.
What the
Yeah,
hell?
I really do. Yeah,
God.
it's actually a really good steelbook too. That's how I remember it. No game in
steelbook, that
it,
one.
just the steelbook. That's it.
End of Abyss has been announced, and that is out next year on PS5, Xbox Series, and PC, and seems to be like a twin stick shooting game. It looks very good. I like the art style in it. It's not twin stick sort of top down shooters aren't usually my thing, but I'd
I
probably
had
play
forgotten about
this.
this one until I saw the gameplay
I'm
again.
literally watching the trailer as I'm talking, and it looks really cool. Like, yeah, I'm all for
Yeah.
it. Bring it on.
As someone that literally just platinumed Little Nightmares 2, yeah, it
Mm,
gives me art style vibes of that game. So
it does, yeah. Mouse PI for Hire still do not have a release date for this. It feels like we're just getting everything but release dates for this game.
It's been
We
a while.
did, yeah,
still saying this year.
it is. We got an announcement that Troy Baker will be voicing the role of protagonist Jack Pepper, which I believe is the main protagonist. How do we feel? I feel like Troy Baker's in everything. He's like the Pedro Pascal of video games right now.
He's good at what he
Um,
does. So
he is like I can't be mad. I love him. I love his voice work. So, and yeah, still excited for this game whenever it may come out. And I know you are too, Jamie.
yeah, the art style just I know it's different genres and everything. It just gives me like Cuphead vibes with just how much effort they've gone to get this like sort of old school animated vibe to the game. So yeah, I'm very interested in this one. I hope it's good in the end.
Game of Thrones War for Westeros has been announced and will be released on PC next year. Apparently, in this game, you can choose one of the houses to fight for and go in a war to claim the Iron Throne. I guess you could say you could rewrite the ending of Game of Thrones, which a lot of people did not like. So, um, I kind of wish this was going to console. It still might, but I love Game of Thrones. I've been slowly rewatching it in the last few months and having a blast revisiting it.
Is it just me, or is it just feels like randomly we're just having a bevy of Game of Thrones games
It does
announced over the
feel
last
like
year?
that.
And it feels
Yeah.
like that just feels like so long ago. Like I feel like almost the cash cow has sort of sailed on that one. I don't know
It
how many
has.
people. Yeah, so it just seems weird that so much coming out. I know they have House of the Dragon
I was going to
going,
say
but
the series is
takes like
still like
3 years in
lit.
between seasons for that one.
Maybe this is to. I mean, yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm glad they're doing it now because they didn't. I don't think they really capitalized on Game of Thrones when it was at its peak, apart from maybe the Telltale game. But
No, I think if there was a Game of Thrones game I want, it would be like an open world RPG type thing where you start a character from the start and you can work your way up to like get to the throne. Like
yeah,
that's the sort of game I would want in that world. But
But you die before you get there. That's the most
yeah,
important part.
you get stabbed at the start of the game and die.
Permadeath. Yeah.
Atomic Heart 2 was announced. I don't think there's a release window for it, but it is a thing. I'm surprised it's a thing because I did not hear much talk about the first one.
I always see it discounted and like in
It's
the 2 for
always
30 deals and
discounted.
stuff, but I've never played it.
Pretty sure it didn't review that well too. It was like probably like a 6 to 7 for the most part, from what I remember. But yeah, I remember playing this when it came out, and it wasn't interesting enough for me to keep
Looks
at it.
nuts though. Both
I
games.
like the premise of it. That's about it.
Mm.
From what I heard. I think it's just poorly executed.
I think it looks like this one's expanding on maybe what didn't work for the first one, so it could be a interesting redemption arc, as you can say. The Cube is an MMO shooter set in the Atomic Heart universe, and that's coming to consoles and PC also at some point. Marvel Cosmic Invasion has 2 characters invading the game, and they are Rocket Raccoon and She-Hulk. It's no release date for it yet, but yeah.
Looks fun though. I am psyched for
It
this because
does.
it's tribute games, and any game they do in the old school pixel style, I have a lot of fun with.
Same.
This game looks perfect for the PlayStation fighting stick.
Yeah, it does actually.
Onimusha, Way of the Sword. We got a new trailer for it. No release date, unfortunately. Looks pretty good though.
It does look really fun.
Felt that boxing. I don't know. Puppets beating each
unique
other up.
one.
I don't know.
It was like Muppets, but it was like Punch Out. I didn't know what was gameplay or what was cinematic. It's interesting, but I don't know. I was left sort of more like bewildered after this.
I literally thought Jeff Keighley was just like doing like a puppet thing again, like he did with the Muppets at the Game Awards. I was like, what is this?
It's different.
It is.
It's one word for it. Killer Inn is a 24-player multiplayer murder mystery by Square Enix, and that is... Don't know if it has a release date, but there is a closed beta coming to Steam soon. This must be like Square's next venture after Foam Stars flopped, but I fear this may flop as well. I mean,
it's a good idea.
It could be fun. Is it not just like an Among Us with people?
Yeah.
Because that's kind of what it looks like, but
it's like a grown-up Among Us kind of thing. Oh well.
It could be fun, but I don't know if it'll take off like Among Us did. They might be late on that train. Arc Raiders officially has a release date, and that is October 30. The multiplayer extraction shooter is coming to PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, and PC. I think a lot of people are excited about that one. I admittedly am not that across it, so I think I need to see more before I get too excited about it.
Yeah, this is one of those. I actually forgot that this occurred. Yeah, I didn't really get anything out of this. It's not my sort of game, so
No.
Multiplayer extraction shooter.
No.
Yeah.
If the word extraction is in the genre, I don't want to hear about it.
I swear every second game last year was multiplayer extraction shooter.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Dune Awakening got its release date, and that is out on June 10. However, I believe it's available now for Steam Early Access members or something. I don't know. But people can play it now on Steam.
I wish this wasn't an MMO. I really do want to play it.
I would love a good story-based Dune game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the MMO part that gets me off. Like, no.
It's the time sink. I can't get it.
Yeah.
Sticking with MMOs, Chrono Odyssey is an MMO with real-time action combat, and a playtest is happening between June 20 and June 22 on Steam. So, cool. Mio Memories in Orbit. There's a demo out now. That's all I know about this game. Although I do remember thinking, hey, this looked cool. Looks very, I don't know. I like the art style. I can't think of what game it reminds me of, but yeah, it looks cool. Out of Words is a co-op adventure platformer for 2 players. Obviously, this is made for the people that love split fiction, and It Takes Two, and that is coming out to PS5, Xbox Series, and PC next year. Thoughts on this one, guys?
I'll play it. These are the kind of games I get my missus to play. So
Yeah.
it looks. I like the art style too. Like I'm a sucker for like stop motion type of stuff and different art styles. So it definitely appeals to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't even
I
remember this.
Oh
I'll be
really?
honest. Yep.
I have no
This is
words.
the problem with this one was, and we might talk about how we felt about the actual show. It was like it was a lot, and then it was over, and then you're like, what the hell did I watch in the middle? In a way, unless it was memorable. But anyway,
Yeah. No. It was long, but it was short too. Like,
yeah,
yeah. Mafia the Old Country got a couple new trailers over the weekend. That is out on August 8th on PS5, Xbox Series, and PC. I I watched, I think there were two trailers that came out on the weekend, and it looks pretty fun. Like, I haven't played any of the other Mafia games, but apparently this one's more like linear and story focused, which like I prefer in my games. So it looks very, I don't know. I haven't seen the Godfather movies yet, but it kind of reminds me of that a little bit, like that
best
vibe.
movies ever.
Yeah. I want to watch them, but they're long, so every time I want to sit down and watch a movie, I'm like, I can't do 3 hours. We got a new Lego game announced, Lego Voyages, which is another co-op game. It's coming to PS5, PS4, Xbox Series XS, Xbox One, and PC. Looks fun. There's another Lego
Yeah,
game later on that I think I would enjoy more. So we'll get to that later. Nicktoons and the Dice of Destiny is an, I don't know, RPG type Nickelodeon game with your favorite Nickelodeon characters. And that's coming out later this year to PS5, Xbox Series XS, Switch, and PC. I mean, all I had to do was hear SpongeBob, and I was like, yes, that's cool. I think they alluded to, do you guys know who the fairy godparents are? Fairy odd parents? Timmy
yeah.
Turner. Okay.
No.
Ugh. The
But
best
I'm not a
Are they
Nickelodeon
fan.
after
That's
show.
this
the
time?
thing.
Uh,
I'm not-
I feel like, I don't know, compared to
I'm
Disney,
over stuff.
Nickelodeon doesn't have the juice compared to Disney. So, I mean, I hope this does well for them, but I don't know. Fractured Blooms is a first person
With the
walking
creepy farm
simulator.
scene.
I think
I really
so.
liked this one. I really did. I was really surprised because I thought it was going to be a certain game, and then at the end it turned into something completely different. I was like, man, that's so strange.
It does look a bit bonkers.
Yeah, like an amalgamation of like farming and
And like
like
anime.
yeah, and then horror. It's like, what is this?
Next we got a stealth drop for Liza P Overture. That's out now. You have to pay for it though. But it does seem like a lengthy DLC piece. So, yeah,
There's a lot of
they
bosses in the trailer.
the bosses look brutal as you would expect. There was that one clip where the boss just drags Pinocchio across the floor for like 10 meters. It's a bit scary. They also added difficulty options to the game, including a more, guess, story mode type thing, which I'm gonna play because I've been wanting to play Liza P for ages, and I just don't have the reflexes for a Souls game. So, but I love the idea and concept of Souls games, but yeah, that's why I've only been able to enjoy Elden Ring because like there are ways to alleviate the difficulty.
Oh yeah,
Just have
for
a
sure.
good time. So, yeah, Overture is out now. Jurassic Park Evolution 3 is out on October 21st. Mina the Hollower is a game by the Shovel Knight devs.
Yep.
Looks pretty solid. Like, I'm not a huge Shovel Knight fan, but
I think
you
Jamie and
can,
I are.
yeah, you can
Yeah,
just tell,
Shovel Knight's
like,
fantastic.
like if I just saw this trailer without knowledge that it was made by Shovel Knight devs, I would assume that it was. Yeah, it looks great. Like,
This will be awesome. Yeah, I have great faith in Yacht Club games.
Yeah.
Shovel Knight is, while some of the Shovel Knight spin-off games that he's been in have been a little hit and miss when it comes to the original Shovel Knight itself, and even the free DLCs that they spammed us with. So much fun. So yeah, I have high hopes for this.
yeah. Yeah, so this game is coming out on October 31st, and there is a free demo on Steam right now. Deadpool VR was announced and is coming to MetaQuest later this year. Dying Light the Beast finally got its release date, and that is August 22nd, and that is out on PS5, Xbox Series XS, and PC. I'm a fan of Dying Light, but I'm still not sold on this spin-off. Actually, I don't think I played Dying Light 2. I think I just played Dying Light 1, so I don't know.
I've tried it a few
Yeah.
times, the original Dying Light, but I've never gotten more than a few hours in, and then I've just gone, no.
I think it's
Is that the
definitely,
parkour one?
yeah,
That's the parkour. Yeah, Dead
parkour
Island
zombie
parkour.
game. Yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely think like the best way to play these games is in co-op.
Co-op, yeah.
Obviously, everything's fun with a friend. We got a new trailer for Mixtape, but still no release date. I believe it's still slated for this year. I could be totally wrong. I thought it was this year.
I think it is. This is one that I am excited for, but I also still don't really know what the gameplay is, if that makes sense. Because they say
Yeah.
it's like it's about reliving like your mixtape sort of thing, like the highlights of the, I think it's the final day before you all sort of separate with your friends and everything. So it's like a mixtape of all your best moments of that day. But I love the concept of it, and the soundtrack looks killer. But again, I don't really know what the moment
it
gameplay
is.
is from
I
these
don't
trailers. But
like. I'm not expecting a lot of gameplay from it because obviously the Artful
Same.
Escape didn't have much apart from like it was basically a walking simulator with like some light gameplay moments, but
I think it's
regardless,
that.
yeah, like it's from what you can hear, it's got a really good soundtrack, and I'm hoping the writing along with it will make it a pretty memorable experience.
yeah, the story I think is going to
Carry
hopefully
it.
lift this up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Toa and the Guardians of the Sacred Tree is out on September 19th, and it's a isometric action game with lots of mythological creatures and fantasy environments. I don't want to compare it to Hades because it definitely doesn't look like that, but looks more like Hades if it was like more anime inspired. I would say
The combat does have sort of similar feels, but
it's like the same like camera angle or similar at least. Looks interesting, but there's so many games coming out. I probably won't even look at this one.
that's the issue. Yeah.
Yep. We have a debut title from Indonesian studio Exil Team, and it's called Acts of Blood. And when I first saw this trailer, I thought it was another seafood game, but it is not. It does give that vibe of it does look like its own thing, but like I can definitely see like seafood similarities. And that's out next year on PC. A new Scott Pilgrim game was announced, and that is out next year. Anyone played any Scott Pilgrim games?
Yeah, the original one. It was awesome. It was a lot of fun. Here's a really old school story for you. It reminds me of a NES game called River City Kids, I think it's called, or something like that, on the
River City
Nintendo
Ransom.
system. Yeah, that's it. It's like, yeah, it's such a good game. You won't play it. No one ever will. But it takes a lot of inspiration from that. And Scott Pilgrim, I think there was an actual issue with Scott Pilgrim versus the World, the game being re-released. I think there was some sort of like, I don't know what the
Licensing?
issue is, but there's a
PS3.
story behind it. Yeah, it could be a licensing thing, maybe.
Because I remember dabbling in a PS3 one because we was like co-op, and I tried it with the missus, but it was a bit too hard for her, so we just moved on. I never went back.
So that is made by the same devs that worked on Shredder's Revenge. And probably another game you can use your PlayStation fighting stick with. So lots of games coming out for
There you
that
go.
stick.
Yeah, pre-order.
Quite an exciting announcement from IO Interactive. They are releasing a 007 Casino Royale inspired map, I guess, for Hitman World of Assassination. And that will star Mads Mikkelsen from 007 Casino Royale. If you don't know, he was the villain in that movie. So, yeah, loved Casino Royale. Pretty cool to see it reimagined, and Mads Mikkelsen returning for his role as well. Jamie, any thoughts on this one?
No, I never jumped into all the time DLC that Hitman does. They have these, targets that they kept it updated quite like fresh all the time. So like if you love Hitman, you always had a lot of content. But yeah, some of the timed assassinations, they've had a lot of guest stars appear in there that you can just hunt down and kill. But yeah, it looks fun for people that want to get their Bond fix before the main game comes out.
We have an Aussie game now, Lego Party, who is developed by SMG Studios, who you might know as the developer of Moving Out. This is essentially Mario Party with Lego. That's coming out later this year to basically every console and PC. Pretty cool. Probably, I mean, I'm assuming it'll be maybe a good alternative for people that don't have any Nintendo consoles. I don't know if you'd essentially play this if you have Mario Party on your Switch or Switch 2. But there's not a lot
Maybe.
of like, yeah, maybe you might if you're sick of it. But the PS5 and Xbox don't really have a lot of titles like these, so
No.
good to see it, and good to see that another Australian dev is being showcased in the Summer Game Fest. Wildgate is a multiplayer. I don't know. I don't know what to make of this one. I kind of watched it and I was like, eh. It's out on July 22, but there is an open beta from June 9 to June 16. It's, I guess, I don't know, like a multiplayer game in space that looks very like, I don't know what to
Space.
compare it to. Yeah,
I have
space.
nothing to add.
No, I'm
bad.
Yeah,
like
it's not my
watching the
type of game. I
trailer
think I
and I'm like,
skipped over this, to be fair.
yeah. Blighted has been announced. Looks very similar to Hades
Yep.
ish. And it is developed by the team behind Guacamelee. Jamie, do you have something on?
I love Drinkbox Studio. I've been playing their game since I think it was Mutant Tales or Tales of the Blob, I think. And then they had another game called Severed, which was on Vita, which I absolutely adored as well. And both Guacamelee games have been great. I have high hopes for this one as well. Love that they have a very distinct art style over at Drinkbox. And yeah, it looks great just because of the pedigree and what the studio's done in the past. I am excited for this one.
We got a trailer for the game Ill, which looks
Sick.
literally sick. Like it, I think it made me sick to my stomach. It's very horror. Like it's I don't know, the horror where like there's just like naked, dirty human monster things. That is not for me.
Grimy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. Yeah, not like I love horror games and like this does look very, very interesting, but I will not be playing it because I'm a little bitch.
Me too. So
Yeah,
I'll join
nah.
you on that.
Yeah, cool. We got a release date for Mecha Break, which comes out on July 1st on Xbox Series XS and PC. It is I guess it's like a mecha battling game. Yeah.
I got nothing
Now,
to add. Again,
no.
multiplayer games, I'm so out of touch now.
Infinite Simals, it's like Infinite and Animals put together, is a third person action game that sees an alien squadron land on a foreign planet only to realize they are the size of a bug. So this one is out next year. Last Flag is I suppose, like capture the flag type game coming out next year. Looks like it looks very like Team Fortress 2 to me.
Yeah.
Obviously more modernized. It has that like silly movement and like character design that looks very Team Fortress 2 to me. I do think this will get a good audience on Steam, which is probably a good thing because that's the only platform it's coming out on. So cool. And Wei Chang Fallen Feathers has another trailer, and that is out on July 24th.
Yeah, look, I have nothing to say about this. Like, it's so like the games are starting to look alike, and I think Brad, you might have mentioned that you were a little bit tired of the Souls formula. Like, the games are even more looking like Souls now. So it's like plays like a Souls game, looks like a Souls game. The names are almost as similar to like other video games. It's
Yeah.
originality seems to be lacking.
Because a lot of Souls games like really go into that like Asian inspiration. A lot of the names sound familiar. The like art style and like cultural inspiration makes it all easily blend together. Yeah. Wu-Tang Rise of the Deceiver is coming to PC, and has a really like striking art style. I think this looks good.
Looks great.
Yeah,
I'm a fan of Wu-Tang Clan as well, so it's good.
and it is a co-op game, so might be some fun to be had there. I'll probably check that one out actually. Into the Unwell is a debut game from She Was Such a Good Horse. That's the developer name. It's a third-person roguelike that can be played solo or with 2 friends. And that is out at some point on PC. Splitgate. Splitgate 2 is out now. Haven't not seen much roaring about this. Like it wasn't like how Apex like stealth dropped one day and like it was all everyone was talking about. Like I haven't seen much talk on it, so I don't know how long it'll last, unfortunately.
Doesn't seem original at all.
No, so was this the one with that developer that
With the
had
bat.
the make FPS great again? And the bat,
he went on
yes.
and that random call to arms with the speech that was nonsensical because
He asked
the
for
end, he
Titanfall 3. That's not too bad.
yeah, but then he ended up presenting Portal. You know, if Portal had guns, like it's the way he presented it, the way it was done, it was awful in my opinion.
Yeah, what a douchebag. No.
The only thing I know about this game is I had actually seen Splitgate on Facebook the other day because it keeps getting advertised to me when I'm going through Marketplace. I didn't know what it was. That's all I know about this. But yeah, it's not my sort of thing, is it? Let's be fair.
No. Do you know what is your sort of thing, Jamie, though? Stranger Than Heaven, RGG's newest title. We got the title of the game, which was previously known as Project something, but we now know. Yes, we now know it's Stranger Than Heaven. That takes place in 1940s Japan, and yeah, it looks great. Like
It looks good. Yeah.
I'm like haven't really played any of RGG's games, but this one's speaking to me.
It's different.
Jamie,
I like it.
Jamie, you're the RGG expert. What did you make of the trailer?
I think it looks really good. I'm unsure if they're using some of the world that is featured in the Yakuza games. Like when they flash up 1943, I'm like, that looks like one of the streets from the Yakuza games, which I would not be surprised because they've already stated that that's how they get such a quick
They could have
reusing assets that they have. Yeah, definitely from like, I've gone down that bridge so many times in so many of these games. I'm like, that looks so familiar to me. Yeah, it looks great. I think it's a great way to get people into the games that RGG do that maybe don't want to go into like the 17th game in a series. They want to go and try something new. So I think having a new IP like this that's sort of standalone, it's a nice little entry point. Because let's be honest, like there's a lot of Yakuza games, so I can understand people go, "Oh, I'm so far behind, I won't bother with it." So I think if this gives them a little taste, and they're like, exactly, if people get a taste of this, maybe they'll decide to then jump into Like a Dragon series. But yeah, it looks really good.
And the final announcement, of course, my game of the whole weekend is Resident Evil 9, titled Resident Evil Requiem, which I'm kind of disappointed it's called that because I don't know if anyone remembers, but when we were like predicting Final Fantasy Part 3, I said Final Fantasy 7 Requiem, and now I feel like they're not going to do that. But I'm glad it's being used.
They probably
somewhere.
were. Then now they're trying to just rush around for a new title.
They all had a meeting after that, and they were like, "Oh God, what do we call it now?"
It's called Recharge now.
Yeah, you heard it here first. So the game, which was teased throughout the broadcast, we had I think, what's her name? Maggie Rogers, I think. Robertson, something like that. She voiced Lady Dimitrescu in Resident Evil Village. She popped up a few times throughout the showcase. And then they kept alluding to like Resident Evil's 30th anniversary next year. Before finally revealing Resident Evil Requiem, that features a new protagonist, Grace Ashcroft, who is an FBI agent investigating a string of diseased individuals who have fallen victim to an unidentified disease. She is sent to investigate the Wrenwood Hotel, where her mother, Alyssa Ashcroft, was murdered 8 years prior. Fans of 2003's Resident Evil Outbreak would be familiar to the name, as Alyssa Ashcroft was an investigative reporter for Raccoon Press and a playable character in that game. Surprisingly enough, we got a release date for Resident Evil 9, which is February 27th, I'm pretty sure. Yes, February 27th next year, which is good. I love a solid release date with the announcement. Jamie, I know you've only played like one Resident Evil game on the 3DS or something.
The
or, I don't know.
3DS.
Vita, I don't know. Birdo, what do you think?
At first, when I saw this, I had no idea what it was. I was like, what is going on? What is this game? And then when you saw the city, Raccoon City, and the RPD, you know, all dilapidated and broken, I was like, oh, wow, this is 9. Like,
I
this
screamed.
is 100%. They did it. Yeah.
I did.
It looks... I need to see more. I don't know what I was even looking at. I watched it twice and I was like, what is this? Is this first person? Third person? Like, is this... I had no idea who she was. I didn't play Outbreak. I don't know what happens in Outbreak. I might have to just watch a...
It was a
YouTube
multiplayer
recap.
game, I'm pretty sure. It wasn't like a mainline title. It was... I'm pretty sure it was a multiplayer game, kind of like Left 4 Dead. I think.
It was PS2,
I haven't
right?
played it. Yeah, it was very... it was a... Yeah, I don't think it was later than that.
And then I read some articles that said that the voices were of Leon and Ada, allegedly, but we don't know. So,
hope so.
like, I don't know. I don't know what to think. Again,
I mean, it was
Resident
only a
Evil for the
cinematic.
yeah, I mean, for the past couple of years, they've been doing a bit of a Nintendo and challenging their core fan base on what Resident Evil can be, right? So from like, you know, 5, 6 to 7, then to 8, then to 9, like they could go anywhere. I
Yeah,
heard it could be even open world. Like, how does that work?
I hope
I don't
not.
know.
Looks like it's
But-
going to be in the hotel or whatever that she's visiting or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited. Well, obviously...
I am excited for it, by the way. You skipped over me just quickly.
I
I do
just-
think it looks. I do think it looks great. I love the fake out as well because they mentioned earlier in the broadcast, and
Yeah.
like, you know, we'll touch on it at some point, and
Yeah.
like this is one of those fake outs that sometimes like people just don't see coming, and I think they nailed it because everyone in the crowd was just like,
What the
and
hell?
then, like Birdo said, once he saw Raccoon City, that everyone went nuts. And so I thought that was a nice little ending because I definitely didn't see it coming.
It was cute.
But yeah, game looks great. Obviously, we need to see more and see some actual gameplay. But yeah, I really need to catch up on this this Resident Evil thing that people like.
Yes, you do.
It's a lot of fun.
It is.
It's good.
I hope it's third person. As much as I liked Resident Evil 7 and Village, I need it to be third person because I enjoy those Resident Evil games more.
I agree. I prefer the third person style.
Not fixed cameras, I could do away with that. I don't think they'll do that
No.
though.
Like Resident Evil 4
The remakes.
remake and
Yeah, the remakes. They were great.
Resident Evil 2 remake, fantastic.
It's a golden formula. They shouldn't stray from it.
They've changed the way they title their games now, right? So what was 7? Was 7 always 7?
Well, 7 is technically Biohazard.
Then Village,
So-
then Requiem. So they've
Yes.
gone from numbers to names now, officially.
Yes. I think
But the Q is like a 9 though.
It
Did you
is. They
see that?
keep
Yeah.
See?
they
And
keep
like Village is
putting
the
yeah. They're very
So Resident Evil
smart.
10 will be like love because it's like L and R, and that's how the 10 will be.
You're actually you
Or
could be
they'll
right.
have X in it and
Nailed it.
just like use the X as the
Oh
Roman
yeah,
numeral.
Oh,
that's even better.
xylophone. Resident Evil xylophone.
All right, so that was the Summer Game Fest showcase. Overall, what did you guys think, Birdo?
I kind of mentioned it halfway through. I thought it was. I think they tried too hard to pack too much in just for the sake of having a show. I think more concise would have been better. Bigger hits would have been better. Obviously, ended great. But yeah, like there's nothing too. Yeah, it is what it is. I mean, it's the replacement of E3 now, so I'm grateful for having something.
Yeah,
So
Jamie.
I don't know. There wasn't a lot for me here. I was left like going, oh, okay, that's about it. And like, yeah, Resident Evil's a great one, but as I don't have that super big attachment to the series, there wasn't a lot here for me. That even like at the end of it, when we were going through some of these titles, I'm like, oh, I forgot that was there. I forgot that was there because yeah, I just felt like this one was a little lacking for me. Not to say this should have been an email like Birdo says, but very close to it for at least
There's-
personal taste.
There's a lot of
few of them, yeah.
sequels. There's a lot of sequels that I feel like of like series I haven't played yet, like Neo
Yeah,
and
same.
Mortal Shell.
Atomic Heart, these sort of games.
Yeah.
Obviously, there must be a fan base there, so that's
Well,
you know obviously those people probably psyched that they're getting a sequel. But yeah, for just a personal taste thing, there wasn't a lot for me here that I was like super excited about.
I thought it was fine, but I do remember being more excited last year during Summer Game Fest.
I think so.
Yeah, I can't remember what they announced last year, but I'm sure I've played half the games of, or yeah.
Oh, yeah, we didn't mention Death Stranding just quickly as well.
Oh yeah,
I just want to quickly mention that I'm trying my best to really just sort of keep open eyes with Death Stranding because I watched the premiere that they did, which I recommend watching because they have show some of the gameplay, and some of that is a bit wild. The trailer they showed during the actual showcase was a bit meh to me. It was just showcasing the new character. But the premiere has some gameplay in it. The game looks gorgeous. Again, the gameplay looks very similar to the first one. I think that's going to be the biggest issue for me, entry point wise. But yeah, I hope the game does well. It's only out in a couple of weeks, which is actually crazy to think about.
it is.
I think it's on track to do well. Like
Oh,
the
yeah,
way
yeah.
that they're allowing publications to play this game for such a great length
It's
of
like
time.
20 hours,
like,
I think some people have played.
Like they have a lot of confidence in this, in my opinion.
Yeah. I think they're marketing it very well too. Like it's not like to the point where you like see it everywhere, but like I would say like every few days something new about it hits my feed, like to some
Yeah.
degree. So like you can't really escape it. Though like depends like how many people played the first one, because I can't see people skipping like this. From my knowledge, the story continues from Death Stranding 1. So like if you haven't played the first one, you've got to catch up
You'll
before
be
you
fine.
even...
Daryl
Yeah.
has a baby now. That's basically all you need to know.
Kojima
and his
has
Ozpost.
Kojima has
Literally, 'cause it's
really
in Australia,
easy to
so-
follow stories too. Like you could just skip
Absolutely,
the
yeah.
first one.
The
And
most
they have a
rational
blood
storytelling.
boomerang in the game.
They
so
do.
You can, yeah. So that's how you know it's in Australia.
All right, let's move to the Xbox Games Showcase. That happened very early on Monday and kind of wrapped up the weekend. I don't believe there might have been one or two broadcasts after that, but this was the last main one of the weekend. And here's what was announced. We got a new official story trailer for The Outer Worlds 2. and a release date. So that is out on October 29th on PS5, Xbox Series XS, and PC. They also had like a Outer Worlds 2 presentation direct thing straight after the Xbox Games Showcase, which I haven't watched, but I'm pretty sure Jamie has because he's very hyped for this game.
I have, yes. They dive into some of the craziness, and the voice actor who plays Sonic, I can't remember his actual name. He's throughout it.
Sonic?
It's like a
Yeah,
that one. It's
Sonic.
Like Sonic himself is in it.
Sonic himself, yeah.
Game looks great. I love the first one. It looks like it's taking place in I think they said a different area of like the same universe. So you have sort of similar themes, but it's sort of still leaning into like the wackiness. They touch on, which I like, that you can go third person or first person. You get the choice there, whatever you decide. So, you know, Brad likes his third person. You could play it that way if you want. They were talking some of the floor systems. So in the original, you could pick some negatives that would then give you boosts. So in this one, you can pick gets cataracts, so you can barely see anything, or you can pick your character is a kleptomaniac. So if you're just looking at items on a shelf in a store, sometimes your character will just nick them, and then everyone will just come and attack you because you've just stolen something. But and there was another one with bad knees. So it's like if you're very fast when you're crouched, but every time you get up from crouching, everyone hears you get up because your knees are all cracking. So it's just leading into some wacky shit.
Funny.
But yeah, the first game was so good, and completely sold on it. Highly recommend people watch the extended presentation where they dive deeper into it.
Yeah, looks great. Like
yeah.
Outer Worlds 2, just real quickly. Like I love the first one as well. I love Obsidian. I think they're a fantastic company. Very much into the core RPGs of it. So they've had a pretty good year with Avowed, and we'll see what happens with this one though.
Yeah, it looks good. I think I only played a few hours of the first one. But I had fun with what I did play.
It's not that long. You should give it another crack. 100%. I think I speed run for the platinum with the second trophy. You get it through in a couple hours.
Can you remind me? It's very like Fallout RPG-ish, is it?
Yeah, you feel
like
the inspiration.
The same like vibe.
New Vegas-y, I would say. Just
Okay.
they reference New Vegas quite a lot in the presentation. I haven't either, but they reference it quite a lot because that was Obsidian.
Yeah.
The creators
the
founders of Obsidian were part of the Fallout. So,
okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah, so October 29th. High on Life 2 was announced. Jamie, you played High on Life 1 recently.
Yeah, a bunch of sequels were announced for games that I recently played on this goddamn show.
I was surprised they announced this.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, the first one, it had some fun moments. If you like Rick and Morty type comedy, it was all for you. But you know, that sort of got a little grainy by the end of it. The guns look interesting. They've added a bunch going by the trailer, but like it was basically just a cinematic, let's be fair. So I don't know if I'll rush out to play this. Like I did like the first one, but like I didn't love it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm not a fan.
That's fair. That's fair. It's not for everyone, that's for sure.
No. A new Plague Tale game was announced. A Plague Tale? I'm saying so many names, I'm getting mixed up. A Plague Tale Requiem. Wait, what?
Oh Lord. Resonance of Plague Tale Legacy. It's a prequel to Requiem, which is the sequel. Which I still have not played yet. I actually didn't realize this was actually a Plague Tale game until the name popped up. So
yeah,
interesting. I like the first one.
So this is out next year, and like there wasn't like a strong focus on like combat in the Plague Tale games, but this one seems to move away from that and have some aggressive combat in it, which I'm all for. I do need to go back and play a Plague Tale because I did enjoy that. I think I can't even remember how far I got in the first one, but I did get pretty far. I just didn't finish it. But I think it's at a point where I'd need to restart it to remember what happened.
First one's really good.
Yeah. Xbox have revealed their handheld, the ROG Xbox Ally and ROG Xbox Ally X. They are coming out later this year alongside Silksong. I believe they're launching together, or yeah, I'm pretty sure they're launching together. So that's exciting. Not for me, but I don't think any of you guys will probably be grabbing this either.
This is
Not straight away. No. I like the idea of it.
Yeah. I mean, it's been rumored
late
for
to the
months.
party, though.
Yeah, it's been rumored for like the last year. This.
Yeah, there's so many of these that I feel like there's a couple of people I follow that like buy a new one every couple of weeks. So I don't know how many of these like PC, Steam, and I know it's got integration with Xbox.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just, it's not for me. I'd
Well,
rather get Switch too.
On one side, like I'm glad like it's part of like the ROG family and not just Xbox doing a completely new thing. Smart, because like I feel like the ROG is quite a popular choice for handheld gaming, and that name next to Xbox, might draw some people in. We got a new trailer for The Blood of Dawnwalker, which is confirmed to come out next year. This is the game, the vampire game, brought to you by developers from The Witcher 3, one that I'm very excited about, and there is a full gameplay reveal event on June 21st in a couple weeks, which I am very excited to see. I'm just going to pause this and quickly talk about, did anyone watch the Unreal Engine showcase of The Witcher 4?
I did.
It looks so good, doesn't it? I'm so excited.
It does.
It's all tech demo though. Like,
It
you gotta
is.
take
Yeah,
it all for
I
a
know.
major grain of salt. It's there to
Well,
sell
yeah.
Unreal. So
Yeah, it's just a good, like, kind of first look at The Witcher 4.
yeah, it's like a strong representation of what they're aiming for. But I've seen some people say straight up gameplay. Look what it's going to look like, and it's like take that with a grain of salt. That is a tech demo, and that's been
but
specifically created. I don't even think it was live either because they keep cutting.
No, it wouldn't have
during
been.
it. So just calm your horses, everyone.
No, I'm
No, don't
excited.
calm.
No.
Yeah,
You can at least see like the direction they're going with, which does seem very
exactly.
Witcher 3. That's what I'm excited about. Now, back to the Xbox Game Showcase. Super Meat Boy 3D has been announced and will arrive early next year on Xbox, PS5, and PC. Anyone keen for this?
Awesome. Yeah, I am. 100%. I really liked the first one. It was a lot of fun. I liked how it pretended to be Mario, because it always does pretend to be a little bit Mario-ish, but more violent. These are fun games. And it's easy to get in, and it's easy to get out when you play them.
Yeah.
Fun's a stretch. They are terrifyingly difficult. But
yeah.
I always try my best not to skip a game. I try to reach the end credits. That final level on the first Meat Boy, which I think I played last year or the year before, I had to give up. I could not do it. I got all the way to the end, and then it reverses, and you got to go all the way back. I'm like, no, I'm done.
We got a release date for Ninja Gaiden 4. That launches on October 21st. Good time to be a Ninja Gaiden fan.
They eating.
They are. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle has had DLC announced. It's called The Order of Giants, and that is out on September 4. Beast of Reincarnation is Game Freak's latest title. It's an action RPG game releasing next year. Looks visually
They do graphics.
2,000 times more impressive than Scarlet and Violet did, so that's good. It is interesting. Well, like now you know, like what Game Freak are capable of, and that it's probably Nintendo and Pokemon Company really rushing them through those Pokemon games.
Yeah, I didn't watch this live, but I had no idea this was coming. So I literally laughed when when Game Freak popped up because I was not expecting that at all.
You don't see Game Freak's logo next to anything except Pokemon. It's
No.
weird.
No,
I lost the
I
plot.
think
a
they
little
did
bit. I
a
was like,
random platformer the other year, and that's
Yeah.
about it. Yeah, yeah.
I couldn't believe it when
They
I saw
do.
Game
They
Freak.
do the graphics.
We got a release date for. No, we did not get a release date. Clockwork Revolution was announced. Jamie, I know you have a bit to say on this one, so I'll pass it over to you.
Okay, so I had no idea what this was. As you said, it was all announced, and the fact that it come out with such a extended look in the game, it looks wacky, it looks stupid. It was giving me Bioshock vibes here and there, which I really loved. And I'm not gonna lie, maybe I've got myself overhyped, but watching this, I couldn't stop staring at the screen. This may have been my own personal gamer show. Just because everything about this just seemed to scream a game I would love. It's
It
got the
does
comedy.
look like it's up your alley.
Yeah, so it looked bizarre as hell, but I couldn't rip myself away. I was thinking, I'm like, where the hell did that come from? Because like in Exile, I believe is the devs. I don't think I've played anything from them at all. But the confidence has just come
great.
out and go, here's 5.5 minutes of the game, and there was genuine gameplay as well in this, which I appreciated seeing because normally you get those cinematics, and that was scattered throughout. But yeah, I'm completely sold on this. I get the same vibes of this from when I first saw Expedition 33, and I was like, "There's something about that," and I was all down for. So I expect big things from this, but again, I try not to get too optimistic. But yeah, this was probably the thing that I was most hyped for. I think in terms of new announcements, anyway.
Okay, I was gonna say your background says
There's
otherwise.
another thing. Yeah, we'll get to that.
Grounded 2 has been announced, and that's launching next month. Also by Obsidians, and they released Avowed earlier this year, so I don't know how they're pumping out all these games, but good on them.
The presentation at the end of the one that had the Outer Worlds, they also focus on Grounded 2 for a decent
Okay.
chunk as well. So if anyone wants information on that, then go watch that one.
I reviewed Grounded 1 last year, I think, and I gave it 9 out of 10. It was a heap of fun, especially with friends. So if this lands on my desk, I won't be saying no. Kronos: The New Dawn has been announced and is out next year on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series XS, and PC. It is a third-person survival horror game by Bloober Team, who you would know worked on the Silent Hill 2 remake last year.
It looks so much like Dead Space. and I
It
love
does. I'm kind of excited for it, to be honest.
Yeah, no, same here.
It was never on my radar. I don't know. This might have previously been announced before, but now it's on my radar. So,
I think it was because I remember
think
the
it was,
dome
yeah.
head.
yeah, I
So was
remember the
Clockwork
name.
Revolution too. That
Was
was
it?
last year.
Okay, well, they've announced so many games and do nothing with them for so long. So, Aphelion is the latest game from Don't Nod. Another space game of more than likely story focused. Although it says it's more platforming and stealth, so we'll see what this does for Don't Nod, as they've been a bit hot and cold lately. So that is coming out next year. No Ghosts at the Grand. I honestly haven't looked at this game yet, so I'm just gonna have a look.
It's really
It's
unique.
wacky.
It's
Yeah.
really unique. Like
Looks
it starts
interesting.
like with the guy dancing and singing, I think.
Yeah, and then it
then-
sort of looks like Power Wash Simulator for a bit, and then it turns into like a deep, darker story or something happening.
Yeah.
I was
It was all
captivated
over
by
the
this, I
place.
won't lie,
Yeah,
but I've got
same.
no idea what it is.
I was too. I was very much so.
Yes, well, that game is out next year. Age of Mythology Retold has a new content update, Heavenly Spear. That is out later this year. Mudang 2 Hearts has been announced and is coming out next year to Xbox, PlayStation, and PC. It's a game where you control two protagonists, a soldier and a K-pop star, and it's a third-person shooter with stealth sections. It looks unique, to say the least. Definitely need to see more from it.
Yeah, I just want to see a bit more.
Yeah. There's a lot of like games where we've just gotten quick glimpses and nothing more. Yeah. Another one I'm excited for, maybe one of my top picks of the weekend, and one I wasn't expecting. Planet of Lana is getting a sequel called Planet of Lana 2, Children of the Leaf. It looks to basically follow on from the events of the last game, like almost immediately, basing it off the trailer. And that's out next year. Jamie, you played this game recently as well.
I have, yeah. I was excited to see this one. Unexpected sequel. I played it at a very good time. I was happy to see at the end that they also said PlayStation as well, so no timed.
Oh, good.
I think it was on Xbox for a little bit before it made the jump over, so
Like a
I'm
year,
very
I
happy
think.
about that. Yeah, and this makes me more happy that Super Rare Games had a physical copy of Planet of Lana go up a couple of months back, which I pre-ordered. I hope there's a physical for this one as well at some stage. But yeah, I love the first game. This made me want to go back and get the last trophy, which is don't die throughout the entire game.
Oh, God, that seems...
Yeah, I didn't want to hate the damn thing, so I skipped it. But
That's fair.
oh, I don't know.
That's fair.
I hate myself.
Solo Leveling Arise Overdrive is a new game coming to PC later this year, based in the Solo Leveling universe. If you guys don't know, Solo Leveling just recently won Anime of the Year at the Crunchyroll Anime Awards. It's very, very popular. I haven't watched
I
it
didn't know it was
myself,
an anime.
but yeah, it is. It's apparently it's like really good. It's on my list. But yes, this is a 4-player co-op experience.
I never know what's popular these days. I don't. Yeah, I thought it was just too many words to make up a title. Solo Leveling Arise Overdrive. I'm like, what? Okay.
It's like a word, random word generator.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what it felt like.
A new Pokemon called Anemo has been announced. No, but that's what it looks like. Anemo is a third-person adventure game that looks very similar to Pokemon. Nintendo lawsuit pending. That is out next year.
This is
So close to
something,
Amiibo as well. And Nemo.
Yeah. They
The
had
visual
to.
style gave me Foam Stars vibes, so
And the anime music playing during the trailer, the J-pop or whatever it is.
yeah, it's a memorable one. Let's say that.
We got a new trailer for Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 and 4. There's a demo available today, and the game's dropping in a few weeks on July 11th. Eight at Fate's End is from the creators of
get there. Keep
Spiritfarer. Yeah. Looks gorgeous. There's no release date, but it will be coming to Xbox, PS5, and PC. Jamie,
Again,
this is your game.
I swear, they
This
looked
is
at my
your
play
showcase.
history. Yeah, so I recently played Spiritfarer. I'm just somehow I just willed it into existence that Xbox would touch on every game I've played in the last year. Spiritfarer is fantastic. So for that game alone, this game looks visually awesome. I'm going to be absolutely following this one because if it's anywhere near the quality of Spiritfarer, I am going to be having a good time with this.
Yeah. Well, sticking with you, Jamie, for probably the next 2 games, Gears of War Reloaded. Do we have a release date before this?
I don't think so because I remember seeing the release date and I was like, man, that's so soon.
Yeah. So it's out on August 26th, coming to Xbox, PS5, and PC. It's obviously a remake of the first game. It's the first time Gears of War will be on a PlayStation console. So
it's going to be trippy seeing that.
Yeah.
That's
crazy.
I'm actually excited for this because when Gears of War was coming out when I was growing up, I wasn't a fan of like third-person games. I know. Horror. Like, I don't know. Just Gears of War didn't gel with me. I don't know why. So I'm excited to retry it.
The cover mechanics are really fun.
Yeah.
I think the multiplayer is really good as well. I really enjoyed the Gears multi.
Do we know if they're going to have the multiplayer in this or not?
I'm not sure. They said something about cross console. I know because I know co-op's in, and it sounded like there was cross progression, which is a really cool thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's just going to be so trippy to see Marcus Phoenix on a PlayStation, which is nuts. I still think there's a missed opportunity to like just have the entire collection all come at once. I think that would be so much better than just the Reloaded remake. But hopefully we get them at some stage.
I'm sure we will.
I think they are. Yeah, I think that's their plan. Like when you think about it, how Microsoft were in PlayStation's like, top selling games of the year, right? Weird, right? Microsoft. I think this is intentional. I think they're slowly drip feeding it because they know it will sell and make more money. I just wanted to double check with you, Jamie, though. Like, I think Gears of War was one of the ones that like pioneered Horde mode, didn't it? For multiplayer. Was it the first one or second one?
It's definitely one of the first. I personally, I didn't really dabble in the Horde that much. I just like the standard deathmatch multiplayer. I've never actually played the campaigns in multiplayer either. I've always played them single player, but I think you can do co-op.
Persona 4 has a remake coming. It's called Persona 4 Revival. It looks great. And that is coming to Xbox, PS5, and PC. No release window. I would assume probably next year sometime, but they're just not saying it. Jamie, Persona 4.
So I had got spoiled that this got announced before I watched it because, like I said, I didn't watch it live, but I had forgotten about it because there were so many announcements flying all over the place, and I watched so many things that I'd just forgotten about it. So as soon as the music hit, literally had goosebumps because this is such a special game to me, at least Golden. Because again, I always bring up the Vita. Persona 4 Golden was one of the first games I played on the. I love that damn thing. One of the first games I played on the Vita, and I was so captivated by it. The story is so special. The character's so memorable. I cannot wait. Like, I cannot emphasize. Literally on my Instagram, I did a Persona themed post tonight, just talking about my love of this. So, seeing the locations all revitalized and the bloody hero running at the scream, I was like, I'm so down. Like, oh, I'm getting this. Like, there better be some sort of addition, and I can actually bloody get it in time before it sells out.
Is this your game of the weekend?
Like I said, it was this and Clockwork Revolution for me, just because of the sentimental value of how much I really loved my experience with Golden. So it's probably between those two. But yeah, as you said, hence the background.
Beto, have you played P4?
No, I'm scared to touch Persona.
Me too.
After playing Persona 5 Royal. My life is really different to when I played Persona 5. I had all the time in the world. And I'm so glad that 3 and 4 Revival are coming, because I am going to buy them. I'm going to keep them physically, because they were so hard to get a hold of. Because like James said, you had to get a Vita, and like, you know, how much did that sell? Not at all, right? So I will buy it. I do love Persona in general. Like 5 is one of my favorite games of all time now. And if it's anything like that, I've heard nothing but great things about Golden. So there's really no reason for me other than time. That's all it really comes down to. Like it's a time sink. And this is a good, I've got the Portal, or is it coming to Switch too? Do we know?
Yeah,
No?
it hasn't been
Probably not.
announced, but I feel like it would.
I think it will. Like,
I think it would
these
run
games are
perfectly
great
on
for
Switch
handheld.
too. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, you need to be able to like put them down and carry on with life. But that's just me.
I'm the same as you, Berto. Time is not on my side, and like Persona has everything I love in a game. I just don't have time to play it. But
They're very
however,
good.
playing Metaphor last year has really like pushed me to really want to play these games even more. It's just hard. What do I play first? 3, 4, or 5? Jamie?
5.
That's a great question. I'd say
5.
Royal is a perfect entry point, but I love the story of 4. Like when I did a top 100 games countdown years ago, and I think that was like my 4th game on the list. Like that's how much I love it. Like it's one of my all-time favorites. Period. And like I'm the same as Bodo now. My life's completely changed from when I was sitting down in my bed playing Vita back in the day. So it'll probably take me about 2 years to get through Revival when it does arrive. But it's such a special game, man. And the soundtrack is absolutely killer.
It looks good, really, really good, and I'm excited for the Persona 4 fans. And excited for me if I get to play it. But yeah. No release date, so hopefully we hear something later this year. Invincible Verse is a game, obviously. I don't know who's watched Invincible on Amazon Prime, but this is I believe it's a fighting game based on the series, featuring the characters from the show, and that's coming next year. Another fighter. Has anyone watched Invincible?
Yeah,
Jamie
except for the latest
Season.
season. I
Yeah.
haven't watched that one.
Same.
When they first revealed it, I'm not gonna lie, I thought this was going to be like a story focused game, and I was like edge of my seat. And then they just revealed it as a fighter, which is it's not horrible. Gave me Injustice and Mortal Kombat vibes,
Yeah.
extremely, which is not a bad thing. I just once again, like as I was saying about Game of Thrones earlier, I'd love more of a story-based thing and to relive out the cartoon. And I never read the graphic novels or anything, so the anime series is all I know. But still looks fun, but I don't know how quickly I'll jump into it.
I just don't think it looks good as a fighter. If
No,
I'm being honest. It really doesn't.
I don't like the art style, to be honest.
Like you see what was the Sony one, the Marvel one, and then look at this. It's like, nah, it's not it. Just seems so rigid.
It's also like, I know the show's popular, but I wouldn't have thought it was popular to release like a fighting game. Maybe like a Telltale type story
Oh, I would
game.
love one of them. Oh,
Like the cinematics look good in the game. It's just, I don't know. The fighting scenes look so strange. They look
Yeah.
like they run on Nintendo Switch 1. I don't know. It could be early, but yeah.
It's because they're trying to go for that cell shaded vibe,
But
but like
sometimes that just makes it
just
look cheap.
yeah, it's. I feel like they've almost pushed the boat out with cell shaded as far as they can,
Yeah.
and yeah, it doesn't feel like it's kept up with all the latest hardware in terms of graphics. So those other fighters we talked about, they have a unique visual style, and it really appeals you in. We've talked about the character design in the Marvel one, whereas like here again, like even some of the characters that they introduced, I was like struggling to remember. Oh, who's that guy or who's that chick? Like I don't know. I like I said, I would have preferred a story game. And now that you mentioned having like a Telltale bloody game, like yes, please.
It's yeah, like if you're like comparing all the fighters we've talked about in this episode so far, this is probably at the bottom for me in terms of what I would actually buy. Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade is coming to Xbox later this year, and Final Fantasy 16 has arrived on Xbox now. So it's out now. It's also just celebrated its second anniversary, so happy birthday to 16. I'd probably assume that Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade will probably drop the same time it drops on Switch too, which is also, I think, later this year as well. Good to see that Xbox fans can play Final Fantasy. And fun fact, did you know every mainline Final Fantasy game is now playable on Xbox, but not PlayStation? Because
Really?
PlayStation doesn't have 13.
Don't they?
No,
Why?
There
Do you
go.
know?
Fun fact.
no idea. It's not a fun fact because I hate it. I want to replace 13, but I don't want to play it on
Shit facts
Xbox.
with Brad.
Yeah, shit facts. All right, next up we have Keeper, which is a game where you play as a lighthouse.
Yeah, it's weird.
I like Double Fine, but this was
But it's a
a
Double
strange
Fine
one.
game. Yeah, they're weird. Not in a bad way.
I mean, I like the art style. It gives me Midnight Walk vibes to me, that art style.
I need to see more, but yeah, if it's from Double Fine, I assume it's
So,
going to be quirky.
what have Double Fine done? Remind me.
Mostly
Psychonauts, unless I'm
story-driven
completely
games.
wrong.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
both Psychonauts. Then before that, it was all like,
Old school adventure games. Were they Tales
yeah,
of Monkey
what are they
Island?
called? Click games and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Point and click. Yeah.
Yeah, point and click games.
Cool.
I think they were the Monkey Island games. I could be wrong though.
You're right. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, knowledge.
I think.
And lastly, Call of Duty has its next game announced, and it is Black Ops 7. This is the first time that we've had a direct sequel in the next, well, we don't know if it's coming out this year, but we can assume it is. But they've never done like Black Ops 2 years in a row or Modern Warfare 2 years in a row. So it's interesting that they've carried on to that. We got a trailer for the story, which looks pretty awesome. I actually really loved Black Ops 6's campaign. It had a lot of psychological horror elements into the campaign, and judging by the trailer, that will continue as well. And it appears that this campaign will feature a co-op mode too, so that's exciting. I miss Call of Duty co-op campaigns. Yeah, as I said, no release date. I'm pretty sure we will learn more about it this winter, so very soon. But yeah, that was the Xbox Game Showcase. Overall, reading through all these, I think this would have been my favorite.
Easily for me.
Yeah.
It was my favorite.
It had a lot of games that I would play. whereas the others were a bit mixed. I could probably pick out one or two games from each of the others that I genuinely want to play. But yeah. Any other thoughts on the Xbox showcase before we move on to Frosty Games Fest?
No, I think we covered it.
Yes, we did.
Yeah. Just for me, I'll quickly say I think
Mm.
the reason why I liked Xbox is I felt it was more original, had more. It was daring to be a little bit different. Not to say that there were a lot of sequels. I mean, it ended on a Black Ops 7, which I can't believe there's 7 of them. But like Clockwork Revolution, like that presented so well. I was like, and I love the NXL Studios. I think they're great. But stuff like that, like they're putting a lot more confidence on their studios, and you can kind of see what Xbox are doing now, which is, after every single one, it's like play anywhere based on the concept of the handheld, and then available on Game Pass day one. So it's like they're hammering it every single time. It'd be interesting where Xbox ends up next year, but by the looks of it, I think hardware wise, I think you're on mute.
I was gonna say, Xbox are having a good year software wise. I think they've had a solid lineup. And it still looks like they've got a solid lineup. Obsidian seem to be carrying them at the moment. Three pretty highly anticipated games. I think the Grounded community are very keen for Grounded 2 next month, I think it was. And then obviously the Outer Worlds 2 as well.
Year of Obsidian.
Yeah. Yeah, so last but not least, Frosty Games Fest, the Aussie Made Showcase featuring Australian and New Zealand games, had more than 270,000 people watch in the first 24 hours of the broadcast, and more than 1 million unique views on their Steam event page, which resulted in some very positive wish list numbers for these local games featured in the broadcast. We do not have time to go through everything that was announced or such, but I guess we'll say a couple games, one or two games, maybe three if you can't decide. What stood out to you? I really love there's a lot of games in here that I've been keeping tabs on for the last year or two, which are it's just good to see them get that global platform. So games like Burger Boys, Corporeal, which I played at PAX last year, Summerfall Studios, Next Game, Malice. They were the devs that made Stray Gods, and Doggy Don't Care, etc. That was surprisingly a very, very diverse range of games showcased, and I'm glad the showcase was a success. Anyone else want to share their games?
I think so. I liked Inkeep. I thought that was really interesting. The one that finished the show. For me, I previewed it when I went to PAX last year. My arms are longer.
Yes.
It's so stupid,
Yeah.
but it leans into it so well.
Yeah, it's funny.
I can't. I just love it. I think that's where I heard it. Corporeal. I think it was you talked about that.
Yeah.
It was really interesting.
Yeah.
And this trailer once again captured my attention as well. So they're probably the main three. I also like the pug game. I forgot the name off the top of my head, but that looked really interesting as well. So there's a lot here. It's good to hear that it helped generate a lot of wish lists as well.
Yeah. Better.
I only really had two that stood out for me. There were heaps, obviously, a little bit overwhelming. I just loved pointing, seeing when it all came up how it was made in it showed you the state where it was made.
Mm.
Yeah,
Like
that's
it'd say made in Queensland. I was like, Brisbane. Although probably not Brisbane, but anyway. I do want to shout out one. I believe it was Brisbane based. Isopod. I played that last year at the Queensland Game Fest, which I'm attending this weekend.
You might get to play
So
it
to see
again.
that, yeah, like it was just cool, to see it from its beginnings to being, presented worldwide. But one personal one that I'm really looking forward to is Into the Dead, Our Darkest Days. It reminds me a lot of, I think, a game that Jamie spoke about a couple podcasts ago, the Daylight. So 2D zombie,
Yeah.
survival type, like post-apocalyptic one. I loved it.
I'm pretty sure we have a review on our site of Into the Dead. I think Nate reviewed it. Unless I'm completely making that up. I know I previewed it when I played it at PAX, but
Probably.
yeah. Yeah, so yeah, pretty cool. I hope we get to see Frosty Games Fest back next year. I know the team put a lot of work into it. Maybe they're already brainstorming what's next for them. But that thankfully ends the news segment. We're at 2 hours and 15 minutes. Let's keep going.
2 weeks, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll go through all the other ones.
Yes.
So let's move on to the next segment. To be fair, we could talk so much longer. There were so many different shows as well.
Yeah,
but
that was very brief.
But we'll move on to the next one. It's time for NextPlay Game Corner. How about that? Each week, woo! The winner of the previous week will quiz the other panelists using games like trivia, name the game, and more. Now, as always, I won the last round, so I will be the quizmaster this week. I'm going to have to start coming up with new things because I only got 3 slogans left, so I'm going to blow the entire load
doing
on
slogans
this. Yes, we are. I've made a big list, and once it's done, I'll have to figure out another game to do.
Yay.
All right, so I want this to be a quick one, guys. You already know the rules. You call it your name. You get to have a crack at it. And then if you get it, get the point. You don't, the other person have a crack. I will give some blatant clues with these because I'm tired.
Okay.
All right, so the first one, the slogan is Outlaws for Life.
Better.
What do you think?
Red Dead Redemption 2.
Oh, boom. Birdo, straight out of the blocks.
Wow.
Correct. Nice work. Quick Game's a good game.
No, it's not.
Alrighty. Just need to get your thinking cap on. You got your cap on. Just
I
gotta make sure
do.
you're thinking as well, alright?
It's not a thinking one.
I literally just spoke for the last 2 hours. I'm brain dead.
Yeah. We should do this more often. Next time you talk for 3 hours, please.
Yeah, okay.
And then that way you'll be completely brain dead.
Second slogan. Rise above our ruin. So you're rising above our own ruin. Think about it that way. It was initially a PlayStation exclusive. Very big franchise. It's now expanded out into PC as well.
Most PlayStation franchises has.
Oh, I've heard Birdo. What do you got?
God of War?
No, incorrect. Brad, do you have one before I give another clue?
Our ruin. I mean, God of War Ragnarok. No, it's not. Definitely not.
Birdo.
All right. Birdo, you can have another crack.
Horizon.
Which one?
The first one.
You're incorrect.
Brad.
What do you think it is, Bradley?
Horizon Forbidden West.
It is.
Oh my god, I can't believe that came to me.
It just out of nowhere.
Yeah.
He's got his stealing cap on.
I do. I did put my
stealing
thinking cap. Yeah, the stealing cap.
Alright, so you got 1-1. Like I said, I only have one more, so someone will win this.
Unless we don't guess it.
I don't know what's gonna happen. So this one is every treasure has its price?
Brad. Uncharted
Ooh,
4.
Hesitation after Uncharted 4 is correct.
Oh,
Absolutely stole it.
I
Every
did.
treasure has its price. He stole the entire thing.
What
Well, there we go. That was nice and
Yeah,
quick.
just
Never
like you
seen
stole
a game
Horizon.
corner go
Just
that
like
quickly.
you stole Horizon.
Should have guessed the right game, Birdo. That's how it works.
Yeah, I reckon it.
Damn. All right. So that has shifted some of the leaderboard. You both are tied now at 13 apiece. Obviously, Brad can't score. No, Birdo.
No, I
No,
won.
Brad won. It's so
Birdo
late.
never wins.
He doesn't. He
It's
really doesn't.
intentional. It's intentional.
Yes.
He gets 1 single point
Part
every
of the
round,
game.
and that's it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a long term. It's a marathon, not a sprint.
All right, so next week, I'm still leading on 15. I'll clean sweep it next week, and then we'll just keep rotating in. Brad, you just want to keep doing that?
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
All right,
deal.
sound good. All right, now I don't know if you're keeping this in the show or not. Do we have time for show and tell?
Oh,
Not
let's
really.
just quickly do it. Let's just quickly get it through. I've only
Alright,
got 2
boom.
things.
I've got 2 things as
Okay.
well. Show and tell. This is where we show either things we bought recently, if you want, or just stuff in the collection. I grabbed Wolfenstein 2 Steelbook for $10 off Facebook Marketplace the other day. I like it.
Nice.
The other thing
It
I
looks
bought,
good.
which was from eBay. Now I'm selling off some of my amiibos, but there's one I've been chasing for ages. Hopk Gaming let me know this one was available for a
Oh.
good price. It is the
Oh, nice.
Banjo-Kazooie,
Very nice.
which is lovely, unboxed, but I'm okay with that. It's on my Banjo-Kazooie shelf now.
Beautiful.
So, Birdo, what do you have?
What's
Switch
that?
2.
No.
Wow, I didn't know you had a Switch too. That's
Yeah, that's it. I mean, I have other stuff, but we're time poor, and I couldn't really be bothered talking
Alright.
about it yet. Next
Just-
week I'll bring it.
Just quickly then, Switch 2, obviously. It's not in my room. And I did get the Elden Ring
Oh,
Night
nice.
Rain Collector's Edition. The statues behind me, so... Yeah, so
Is
be cool.
the steelbook in the box?
It is in the box. Are you
Are you not opening the box?
Oh, no, I've already opened it. I mean, I can open it.
Oh, okay.
Hang on.
yeah.
Because the statue's out.
It's actually at the top of the box.
Oh,
so
I
let
thought
me
I
see.
thought he bought 2 editions or something. I don't know. What was it.
Mhm.
He never
And you're
usually
the-
opens.
And you're
things.
the front of the leaderboard. My God.
No, but I opened
Yeah, it just
the...
shows how stupid you are.
I opened the Shadow of the Erd Tree Collector's Edition, so I felt
Cheap shot,
comfortable.
Oh, it's such a sleek looking thing, isn't
It
it?
is. It's beautiful.
God, I love it. Oh, it's good. I always like when the steelbooks do the inner sleeves as well. I don't think.
Yeah, same.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
That's
symbol
cool.
for design love. There you go. That's the end of the very, very, very long episode of the Next Play podcast. As always, you can support the podcast by leaving a 5-star review on wherever it is you are listening to us. And don't forget to check out next-play.com.au for all your latest video game news and reviews, as well as our socials at NextPlayAU. I think we've got recaps of, if not each showcase, most of them. So if you just don't want to hear our voices and you just want to read and watch them, head over to the website. And if you're watching us on YouTube, hello, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and comment down below. And go check out some of Brad's Let's Plays. He'd be very happy if you did that. And a happy boss means a happy life for us.
I also, sorry. I also did a live reaction to the Resident Evil 9 trailer too, so go check that out.
Oh, there you go. Plug. Head over to the YouTube channel. As always, I have been your host, Jamie. You could find me at JamieX66, and you can go and share all your Persona love on my latest post on Instagram. And joining me today has been Brad.
You can find me everywhere at Brad_EXP or on Blue Sky Brad Goodwin.
And Berto.
You can find me on Instagram as pause_gamer.
Thank you very much for listening. I'm assuming everyone's watched the entire show, so
Yes.
we will see you next week if this show even ends. Bye.
Bye.
See ya.